Hello, everyone and anyone. This is Ziyal from Ziyalgamingetc, and welcome to Fallen London. This is going to be a starting up guide for everyone to check out this delicious game. Basically, Fallen London is a free browser-based minigame, and I'll let them sum it up with their own words. One city, a thousand choices. Dark and hilarious gothic underworld where all the actions have consequences. And do mention it's free. Welcome, delicious friend. So if the New Yorker's given out awards to video games, browser-based games, which I didn't know they did that, it definitely shows that there's something really special about this. This is, quite frankly, this is my lifesaver. This is how I keep myself going when it comes to internet stuff. Just in terms of uploading videos or just in general, it's the ultimate way to kind of kill a little bit of time but engage your brain a little bit more than, say, reading posts, reading random stuff there. And everywhere you can see my bookmarks, all this good stuff. You could try to decipher things and figure out the other email address and my other characters. I'll tell you all about that later. But anyway, this is a starting up guide, so let's show you Fallen London and what it's all about. We're going to create a new one, signing up with email. You can also sign up with Facebook or Twitter. If it's going slow, go away. It's giving my old, my other information. If it's going slow, it's because I'm currently, I didn't sleep very well last night, and I decided, hey, you're uploading videos, and I can't really quite deal with this Fallout 4 build planner. I have lots of ideas, but the idea is that if sending information might be a little slower because of that. So, it begins with choosing your name. So, Ziyalgamingetc. Yeah, why not, right? That's Gamington. That sounds properly British. Should I be using this accent all the time? No, let's not do that. That's quite awful. But the idea is that you pretty much just do the whole blah blah blah. You've been here before. Enter your email address, or you do the whole signing up through Facebook. Oh, oops! I gotta make up a password. Uh-oh, super secret. What to make it? Okay. Okay. And now, this is where I think Fallen London really kind of shines in the sense of, this is a story-based web game. But they could have just not had this feature at all, but do you want to be a lady? A gentleman? My dear sir, there are individuals roaming the streets of Fallen London this very moment with faces of a squid. Squid, do not ask him their gender. And yet you waste your time asking me trifling and pertinent questions about mine. It's my own business, sir. I bid you good day. That's an option. That's just something you click here. I actually already have a character that is of an indistinct gender and such, but don't have a lady. I actually have multiple characters. So we're going to go with a lady because I don't know if anyone's noticed this yet, but I rock the female avatars. So, what crazy cameo do we want for ourselves? Well, that's a bit much, I think, for that. I think we're going to be going for the, we're going to definitely be more of a bruiser this time around. So, hey, look, she looks pretty bruisery, wouldn't you say? Now, this is really more aesthetics than anything else. And it's going to say, welcome. Wow. I'm not going to have it save this, just because I have the other one set up. Oh, this is actually a Chrome add-on. I'll show you guys a little bit. But pretty much what happens is that I thought they'd actually require me to, like, hey, confirm who you are. But no, they don't care. So pretty much what happens in Fallen London, this is the game. Graphical interface. It's quite advanced, as you can tell. The graphics are not really where it shines, but that's not the point. The idea is that Failbetter Games have made something truly unique in terms of their story. And the idea is that as soon as you start out the game, they say this is your story of your adventures in Fallen London. Every step gives you a choice. Every choice unlocks more stories. Make a first choice below. Okay, so you got A or B. Tell me more before I start. Or just let me dive in and explore. Well, this is a showing guide how to start the video as of 11, whatever it is. The 4th, I think. So tell me a little before I start. So pretty much, we just spent an action. By pretty much spending an action right there, our little candle goes down. Then you see the nice little timer here. That's highlighting way too much area. The timer is basically the next time an action is going to recharge. It's a free game, and that's the way that they keep you coming back. But that's what's kind of the beauty about the game is you get to do some things, and then you just get to go away for a while. And then come back when you're it's fresh. So anyway, so qualities that keep track of the choices you make, gaining qualities, yada yada yada. The idea is that we told you something important. And we're a stranger. A living story is going to begin soon. Anytime, I should mention, I'm going to walk us through this whole thing, but anytime you're interested in some help, they have a pretty good help section to kind of let you know what's going on. I found that it was one of those things where I really I thought that it was quite excellent in that regard, if you will. All right, concentrate on escaping, okay? We're unjustly imprisoned. View from yourselves magnificent. Fall in London far below. You've come so far and you're so close. No prison can hold you now. Concentrate on escaping. It's a half-mile from a barred cell window to the dark waters below. Below is supply... But a supply dirigible brings food to the prison every day. It passes directly below your window, and the mortar that holds the window bars in place is old and rotting. You can work them free. Alright, and then, hey, well, congratulations. These are different qualities that have entered into the world. You're dangerous, your strength thrusty, soldiering. The idea of how much you can kick a little ass. Take some names. Persuasive, wit, charm, plausibility. My dear sir, I'm quite charming. Could I have some more? You know, sort of thing. Shadowy, stealth, subtlety, cunning. I'm gonna go steal your pocketbook. Sort of idea. Watchful, observation, intelligence, deduction. You fancy yourself a Sherlock Holmes? Well, this is the way to go about it. So, onwards. Basically, we have ourselves, what kind of thing? How are you going to get through these bars? You need some sort of tool to loose them, however you acquired it. You can determine your starting path later, but the idea is that it's kind of giving you a chance to decide which way you're going. You can see your stats over on this side. 5 watchful, plus 1 shadowy. That's interesting. Where is that coming from? And -1 persuasive. That reason why those stats are the way that they are is because of what we have equipped. And for that, you can see the fact that, ho, here I am. I am wearing prisoner's shackles. I have a crappy piece of bundle of ragged clothing and a prisoner's mask. Basically, the prisoner's mask gives you some bonuses shadowy. The bundle of ragged clothing, -1 persuasive. So I think you're actually better off going naked for that. How indecent to me. What can I say? And you can see the fact that since we just started, there's a whole lot of nothing here. Pretty much going back, we decide which way we're going to go. I've decided that other characters I've started, I've done persuasive, I've done shadowy, but I think I'm a dangerous lady. Yeah, you can tell by my voice. Rats here sometimes use tiny pickaxes. Even mine use sticks as dynamite to make their tunnels. You can grab some of their tools. A straightforward challenge. Okay, so you see that it was a straightforward challenge, meaning we had a 100% chance to complete it. Got the little swine. You dash the rat against the walls of the cell and scratch away at the mortar around the bars with its tiny pickaxe. It's not easy, but it's better than your bare hands, and at last the bars are loose. So we've succeeded in dangerous challenge. Basically, since it was a 100% chance, our dangerous increased by 1 change point. The change points are a little bit like it's like you're gonna just basically see the bars. And the thing that you need to know about it, there's a wonderful link that I'll include in the description that kind of gives you an idea of what challenges are worth versus another. But if you have a 100% chance to completing it, you're going to get a point. You're not going to get a bunch. But if it's like really risky and you somehow manage to pull it off or even fail, you're going to get more for failing on a difficult task than you were for completing an easy task. All right, the preparations are complete. Here we go. Moving on. Now, this is our little gold card here. Gold cards are kind of storylets that you are able to do they have choices, but once they're kind of done, they're done. Sometimes they can come back. With a final struggle, your wretched bar is free, squeezing hastily through the windows as the supply dirigible approaches. All right. Well, we're making our epic escape from Newgate Prison. Dun 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 dun. Escape! With the final struggle, you run surprise free, squeezing hastily through the windows. I think I said this. You pause briefly on the narrow ledge outside, then leap to the upper surface of the dirigible. Dirigible's a big blimp, by the way. Sliding several alarming feet before you get a grip, you are free. Sometimes you have to say that because there's all this British terminology here. These are British filmmakers, game makers, after all. So, where do we escape to? Do we escape to Watchmaker's Hill, where we're kind of decided we're a dangerous person, that you're tough to handle, dangerous work, become the most feared lady in the city? Well, that has an appeal. But perhaps you're cunning and quick. You could make your fortune through shadowy activities and spite. Escape to Vale Garden? Work. You. Wine and song and all the pleasures of underworld now. Work later. It'll be easy for someone who's persuasive. And escape to Ladybones Road. You're in the city to uncover its deepest mysteries. Ladybones Road is the best place to start to be watchful. There's a lot of mysteries in this world, okay? So really, it doesn't really matter where you decide to go. But since we're kind of going with the dangerous path, dangerous, we go. Watchmaker's Hill. The dirigible spirals slowly down over the smoldering lights of fallen London. The cavern breezes of the Neath pluck at your clothing. Watchmaker's Hill is a dark patch off to the east. Beyond the hill, a sullen fungal glow rises from Bugsby Marshes. You clamber down the side of the gondola and drop silently from the dirigible as it passes over the Watchmaker's Hill Observatory. So here we go. They give you a lot of information here, and I'll be honest with you, a lot of it does not matter. Some of this stuff right here, this is just kind of like a story. Some of these are just kind of milestones. They're also giving you the indication of, hey, you should totally look for some place to live. Time passes in the game, but only really when you see this clock icon is where time passes in a story-based sense, which is separate from real-time passing, which I'll explain a little bit later. And you just arrived at Fallen London. We'll tell you more what to do soon. So, onwards! So, 1,000 choices. Now you're free. You have a much larger list of choices. When you click onwards, you'll see a deck of cards. Click the deck to get a surprise story. Click the choices below the deck for a more predictable experience. The more you play, the more you unlock. There's never been a more true way. I've been playing this game for probably 6+ months, and I'll tell you, there's still plenty to go. I think it's been 6 months. I don't know. It's been nearly 6 months. And you'll see my highest level character, if you will, after we get through the tutorial. Explore Fallen London. Alright. So, this is what they like to do, and this is definitely where the tutorial comes in. A stone in your shoe. You stored a little something to buy supplies down here, and the gallows never found it. Sell your magnificent diamond at the bazaar to raise funds. You should sell the manacles and whatnot, too. So, the idea is that they're pretty much giving you the hint that this button here, Bazaar, means, okay, do I want to keep the ragged clothing that gives me -1 persuasive? No, I'm good, thanks. So, you can sell it if you have multiples of it. You can kind of go like this. We obviously don't. And you can also just type it in. I have 1,000 of these to spend. They won't even let me do that. Sometimes you'll actually need to do that because you'll be like, I got 10 gajillion of these of a item. The prisoner's mask, it gives you a +1, so why get rid of something if it's providing a benefit? Yes, are we going around naked at the moment? Yeah, pretty much. But that's just the way Ziyalgamingetc rolls. And now you see, as we're selling this magnificent diamond, ironically, like a lost star right there in your palm. And you gain it from certain crimes, from the married gentleman, etc., etc. It's funny because some of my other characters are dying for these, but when you start out the game with one, its pretty much purpose is for you to sell it. If you want to hold on to it for, a long time, you can do that, but oh, glorious. I swear there's a little sunlight caught in there. Let's not mention this to Mr. Stone's people. Who's Mr. Stone's? Find out. Alright, so now we got a little bit of the money. And all we're wearing is, we are quite indecent right now. All we have is our prisoner's mask and nothing else. So, basically the old story thing went away. Since we have no place to live, we only have one of these opportunity cards things. But let's quick go back to Bazaar, and we are going to buy items. Let's no longer look so strange, shall we? Now, there's a lot of cheap clothes options. Now you'd be tempted to, okay, look, I got $13.30. Get the best item you can for how much you have left. Like I believe since like if you were going for persuasive, you'd want to buy this one or that one. Oh, look at that. Um, the idea that kind of goes here is that you don't have to really do that. All these clothes provide something. Suspicion, well, that's going to be a menace. We don't really need that. And really, what do we want to look like? A bundle of glad rags, a blood-stained suit. Well, that provides +2 to dangerous, -1 watchful. So you see, there's some options here. I'm pretty sure the fancy stuff is well out of our price range. Yeah, sadly. But at the same time, remember, Fallen London does not decide that you must dress as a man or dress as a woman. It's going to decide for you. What I find really interesting is that this rough gown, for the same price as the bloodstained suit, is technically worse because it provides a negative to watchful and a negative to persuasive. But whatever, man. We're going to dress like a lady with our rough gown. So we're going to buy that for 50 quid. Or pence, excuse me. Basically buy for a small amount of money. And then here we go. We go to our myself tab, and I'm a shadowy and dangerous lady. Pretty much, it kind of describes you from what you got going on. Let's equip this. So as soon as I equip this, you look over here. My dangerous increased to +2. My persuasive and watchful have gone down by 1. Not a big deal at the very beginning. But the idea is that you find yourself just a little something to help out your starting statistics. And if if you are in the role-playing type, and if you're playing a game like this, being of the role-playing type is always a fine idea. You can basically, yeah, for 20 cents I can buy myself a pair of scuffed boots. It's better than the leg irons I had before, right? And I got nothing to cover my hands, so this is an opportunity to actually, oh, well, I probably shouldn't have done that because I could have bought some gloves that were worth a darn. Pair of cut Christmases. We'll wait to buy some gloves till later. We're going around gloveless. The scandal of it all, I know. And you can even buy something for your weapon slot. There's lots of slots here. You got your hat, clothing, gloves, weapon, boots, companion, destiny. And you have your expanded stuff. I'll move more on that later. I'll give you a hint. This expanded, you're not even have to worry about that for a long time. When you're first starting out, this is what matters. Now back to the game. We're slightly more equipped to deal with the world. We don't have any place to live because the only place to live, like I said before, opportunity cards. These refresh once again on, I believe it's supposed to be a 10-minute timer, I forget. But the idea is that these provide different stories than are going to be happening otherwise. So, altars and alms the church. Theology in London, down the earth among the devils, is a tricky business. Devils, you say? And because I don't have anything, this card is basically useless. Now, since I'm showing things off here when it comes to the opportunity deck, I'll point out the fact that, well, since I can't use this quite yet, you had the option to discard. The only penalty for discarding is the fact that you only have so many cards, and when you run out of cards, you pretty much are waiting for more to spawn. So, retrieve a courier's correspondence. You unlock this. It tells you all the things you unlocked it with. And it's a whole list of them. Up here in the top right tells you standard frequency. So before you decide to discard something, if something says infrequent frequency or very infrequent, it might be worthwhile to keep it going. Well, at the moment, we are terrible at all these things. So what's interesting now is we're presented with, like, let's take this option here. And funny enough, taking off the item I just had, because it was giving me a minus to both of these, will turn these challenges from tough to very chancy. You'll see tough is still 33%, so 1 in 3 chance, but 50-50 is a coin flip. So let's 50-50 to track the culprit down. The urchin who stole a sock full of something and ran off into the alleys. So let's track him down with our investigative watchfulness. Hey, we succeeded. Go coin flip. Got her. You give chase through a tangle of alleys. Your quarry is a patchwork overcoat flicking around the next corner, but your legs are longer. You catch her as you're about to scramble up the drainpipe in an abandoned factory. She hands over the package and puts up with your lecture. The courier is grateful and rewards you with secrets she learned by reading things she shouldn't have. So, we've got our very first item, Whispered Hints, you say. Inscribed in tiny letters and slip of paper, small enough tied to a raven's leg. Fallen London is all about secrets. And just to kind of show you here, down here now we have our very first item, which is some Whispered Hints. It's pretty much the lowest form of, when you start off the game, you're going to be in the lowest form of currencies with our different section. I'll show off more of that when it comes to show up the more character. But first up, things first, we got ourselves a whole slew of things going on. Pardon me, I forgot to turn off my phone. What we got here is that we're looking and we see that we have find some place to live. You need an address or the constables might scoop you off of the streets for vagrancy. Well, that won't do. So we click go here. Now we have a couple of options. You need an address or they might scoop you off. Once you have a lodging, it's easier to find other sources. Make this an early goal. So we have no pieces of Rossi gold and we are in Watchmaker's Hill, so we can make a little money to pay our rent. We can rent a room with some of those Whispered Hints that we just got. But hey, we're tough, so we're going to click this here and earn some Rossi gold to pay the rent. And hey, just because we clicked that, we were able to get a little bit increase of dangers just by saying, hey, let's do it that way. Sometimes you'll just randomly get your points this way. So what are we going to do here? Rowdy times at the Medusa's Head. Rat catchers, spider crushers, and monster hunters drink here. If you want to be anything in the hill, you have to prove yourself. Alright, well, we can earn some wine, get ourselves drunk, or we can definitely subdue unruly drunks and earn ourselves some Rossi gold. So let's bounce! I like that the changes there. Hey, we now have 20 pieces of Rossi gold. I'll show them. You knock heads together until all the troublemakers are unconscious, or have remembered their manners. So Ziyal, in her rough gown, she's taking people to task. Now that we've done that, we've earned ourselves another piece of currency that will allow us to, I believe we needed 20. Hey, you needed 20. How about that? So let's rent a room. Okay. So you deserve somewhere better, of course. But this will keep you out of the cold. This is a big improvement of the prison cell you were in a short time ago. So pretty much it tells you that increases the size of your opportunities hand, which is the cards we were flipping, and can have other advantages. Meanwhile, here's a wallpaper for you. Huh. Is this the one that I'm... Yeah, that's really funny. You can check it out real fast. That's definitely me using that wallpaper right there. I've had it up that way for a couple months. It kind of shows you my interest in the game, Fallen London. I love it so. It's just so darned quaint. Okay, so onwards. We found some place to live. Now, we automatically move there. Under the Myself tab, you can see your lodgings. You can see that we are now in an attic room, a cramped and draughty room on the top of the roof of a lodging house. Truly better than a prison cell, but not exactly quite glorious digs, am I right? So pretty much at this point, we have ourselves a couple of cards in our opportunity hand, and let's click the button. Since we have more spots open, we can flip a couple of them at a time. I can tell you right now, from experience playing this game, that this visit card is pretty much not going to be usable because we haven't met any of these people yet. When you first start out the game, you'll run into this a few times where it's like, I can't use this, and you're going to want to hold on to it for a while sometimes. But I can tell you that one in particular, until you meet any of those characters, no point in keeping it. But we have a sort, shroom hopping. I have no nodules of deep amber, so it's basically a way of gambling. So it looks to me like the opportunities deck. Let's see if we get anything glorious. Popster. Wow, they're giving me all the stuff that's really quite excessive. So what you can do with this is basically giving a gift. High in the polls of the square, the philosophers are arguing again. The point in their contention was the truest gift of a true friend. You duck flung fruit as you pass, but their arguments set you thinking, what gift might you give? Okay, so the idea is that all these options are going to be available to you. The only one that's going to kind of make any sense for what we've quick started out right here is if you have 500 pieces of Rusty Gold, basically if you're slugging a lot of drunks out of bars and doing dangerous activities, then you have the opportunity to send rats through the postal system to an acquaintance of yours, meaning a real life person who's also playing the game, and they will basically have to deal with that. And they'll get themselves wounded, which is interesting to say the least. But yeah, these are not really great opportunity cards, so we're going to move on. What's interesting about this is that since this is during the Halloween time, we got ourselves special silver borders here. And these are things that happen during Hallowmass, which is Halloween. Pretty much time, since that's still going. I believe it's like one last days of it. These are special things that are only around for this time period. But we don't really have anything that's going to allow us to do that sort of stuff yet. You kind of have to be a little bit more established to jump in on some of the things. But you don't have to be really established. That's what's kind of great, is that you just have to have been learning the basics, and then you have yourselves into a better place. This is a good time to show off that, hey, we're hanging out in our lodgings. From your lodgings, you can do all sorts of things. Do you want to pursue a relationship with another player? Say you want to play with your spouse, girlfriend, etc. Well, hey, that's something you can do. It all has some in-game benefits and stuff like that. But don't worry, for all of us Forever Alones out there, i.e. myself, I found myself a little virtual person that I have a relationship with, so she increased my stats by like 8%. Ah, love. But that's that's what's about, getting together with someone else and slightly increasing your stats and better tax bracket, right? This is kind of the one thing I wanted to show off for sure when you get to attending to matters of society and scandal. So, you want to become acquainted with Ziyal Gaming after seeing this wonderful... Ziyalgamington, I should say. After seeing this wonderful video of mine that I'm saying for a tutorial, if you will, for starting out the game. So, send a calling card. That allows you to become an acquaintance. So, approach. I have no eligible contacts. I know nobody. But I'll tell you somebody I do know, and that is going to be... I believe that's my character's name. Let's see. Did it work? It totally did not work. So, let's see. Somebody I know. Add. It did. Okay, so basically, I added somebody here. You are not allowed to yet. That's interesting. Okay, suggest a contact then. Bam. Okay, Webscary. Webscary, I would like to become a contact of yours. So I add them to this here. And then over that, oh, okay, cool. Looks like it added one person. Okay, it added my other character, Sarah Fett. You can see there's an email address right there. Kind of a hint if you're interested, if you start the game up and need some people to talk to and do things, by all means. And we're going to choose them. So sending a calling card between characters increases your influence. I'm not even 100% sure what that means, to be honest with you, after playing her all this time. But if they accept, perhaps become friends, comrades, or rivals. You can refuse, don't take it personally, etc. The idea is that pretty much now that you send a calling card out to the person, you can do a lot more activities, if you will. For example, let's just say, okay, I'm really tough, so I think that this person I just met, assuming that they take my, assuming that they accept my calling card, I want to invite them to a sparring bout, a round of 2 honest fisticuffs, and perhaps one of those peculiar Eastern fighting traditions. Higher denders tends to win. The winner acquires more, making waves. The loser earns more, gaining more hard-earned lessons. Okay, so we're going to send this off, and boom. And we're still going to keep going along with the tutorial, but this will be a great opportunity to kind of show off what it is between player interactions. So I've got myself all set up, and one of the ways I recommend if you want to run multiple characters is, okay, I got Chrome, which is currently loading up a video and taking its sweet time about it, and loading up here. But if you got the RAM to kick it, I have Firefox set up to basically log me in and go, hey, Fall in London, what's up? And this is my other character. And over in the messages tab, which is what's important here, I'm going to make this big in this, which is totally a word. The Simpsons, thank you. You'll see that Ziyalgamingetc is invited to accept their calling card, a polite overture to social actions. Accept and become an acquaintance. Alright, let's accept that. Boom! So you may now consider them an acquaintance. Making waves increases, blah blah blah, more influence. And now here's the thing, Ziyal invited my character, Seraphet, if you will, to a game of, or a sparring bout, so we'll accept this here. By accepting it here, it's going to instantly change between the two of them. And yeah, I trounced the very starting character, Ziyal, in invigorating bouts. I gained a hard-earned lesson, and it increased by dangerous, because it's a dangerous pastime, fighting people, obviously. And making waves is something you won't have to worry about until you are in the late game, if you will. Which takes some time to get there. So, just making this small, for like, go over back to Chrome here, and our main character we just made, we'll see that it happened pretty much in real time. By clicking the messages, we see that, hey, cool, they accepted our our calling card, and the fact that they kicked our butt. So there you go. But we have 2 hard-earned lessons. What are those? Well, I actually don't think they're displayed on your... Oh, they are. Advantage. So, hard-earned lessons are very useful for different tasks. The idea is that these hard-earned lessons, I have 2 of them by the fact that I lost the bouts. The loser always gets more of these. And when you go back to your lodgings and go back to invite someone to do something dangerous, you'll see towards the bottom right here, if you gather up 5 of these between you and a friend, or just between your two different characters like I just did, this is a way of power leveling if you want your character up some more points in dangerous. This will increase your dangerous, shadowy, and watchful. It increases 3 stats, but mainly dangerous, by having a few of these available. What else do these advantage cards earn? Well, let's find out. To find out, we're going to have to leave our house, so we have to leave this area. We're going to hit the travel button up here towards the top tabs, and look at all these places we can go. Watchmaker's Hill is where all the bad boys hang out to try to beat up others, so let's go there. Back to there, if you will. So, we have ourselves... Let's go back to the rowdy times of the Medusa's Head, and I'll show you what I mean. Well, here's the sort of thing. The idea is that a better class of violence... Nope, that's not our lessons. There's a lot of these options here that will invite someone who isn't playing to join you and start a lucrative story. If you see this coming up here, when you press it, what's going to happen is this little option is going to pop up that my email to somebody else's email is going to pop up, a friend who doesn't play the game, and it'll give them an opportunity to join the game and give them a little bit more incentive. So you're trying to convince your friend who's, basically, only plays first-person shooters and, kind of foams at the mouth, but you want him to calm down. He's gonna relax, chill out a little bit. This is how you do them, but you want to, you want to invite him a cool way. You don't want to just say, "Hey, play this game because it's fun and stuff." You can entreat them with some better text, if you will. If you have someone to watch your back, you can invite a friend from the surface to be your partner in blood and glory. If nothing else, will doubtless lead to being paid better. So the idea is that it's a way of kind of getting people there, and plus it usually gives you some benefit or another. Now, funny enough, this is a straightforward challenge, but if I wanted to, if this was going to be difficult to do, you hover over this, you'll see your percentage chance is 100%, but let's just say it was like a 30% chance. You click this, you will be spending one of your hard-earned lessons, but it'll give you a second chance, meaning if you fail it, you'll be able to do it again. So we're just going to bounce this guy because the options here, we don't need to. Only 7 pieces of Rossi gold. It's almost like it was rigged to give me more. But what happened, because we did more dangerous tasks, our dangerous has increased to 6. That plus our items over here puts us at dangerous... well, it's supposed to be dangerous 7. Sometimes you'll find that it'll update. If you ever want things to update, just click on the tab again. And then over here, still says dangerous 7. What's making me less dangerous? Whatever. Okay, the point is that This is the other kind of big things that you can do here, is that we have ambition. Now this is one of those sort of things that when you're starting off the game, you may want to familiarize yourselves with some of the other areas first and what to do. Because this is one of those things that if you want to trade this up, that's where that's where real life money comes into the play and all that sort of stuff. And you don't really need to do that, but the idea is that because I'm dangerous, on long evenings at the Medusa's Head where the monster hunters drink, they brag about the beasts they bagged, the Canastigar, the Eater of Chains, the Spider Council, Jack of Smile and his many bodies. Jack of Smiles? Who's that? So, click more here, and find out more about the Vague. This is Ambition. It's a major storyline with enormous rewards if you reach Shan. To give you a perspective, I've been talking about playing the game for nearly 6 months, I believe. Yep, totally haven't reached the end of this yet. Big, long quest line, but it's kind of like your life's ambition from the start. And you'll see that whenever you click on these here, dangerous and watchful qualities are the most important for this ambition. So that would work for my character, who is going to be very dangerous, if you will. But let's just say I'm not feeling that. I'm going to hit the travel button, and if you remember from before, the different areas that we can travel to, that's the carnival, that's different. But let's say spite. Perhaps you are the sneaky, steely type. You can come down here and ambition light fingers. Before you come down, you heard about a contract here, and someone had a diamond the size of a cow. So you click that. And this one will tell you that in order to kind of pursue this, shadowy and persuasive qualities are the most important there. So it kind of gives you an idea of where your early challenges and early tasks will come from by choosing choosing which path to go. I personally recommend none of them, all of them, every single one of them. I'm doing two different, like I said, I have two different characters other than this here. And I'm working on, I believe, what is it? Light Fingers and Ambition Heart's Desire. And I'm both at the point with them that I'm working on the next goal. And because I'm a weird completionist about some things, I'm going about it in a very obtuse way. But yeah, Ziyalgamingetc is a little bit more straightforward. So, wow, let's bag us a legend. Boldly done. You've chosen ambition. Alright, when the Vake is mentioned, everyone goes quiet. No one has any boastful stories. Why? So this gives you an opportunity, and you'll always kind of see it. You always have a silver backdrop here, and we'll find out more about the Vake and our life's ambition here. Oh, so here we go. This is a good opportunity to show it up. You need to know more about the Vake. You have a chance of finding it, but everyone in Medusa's Head is rumbling and staring into their beer. Demand answers. Sit down and shut up, you silly young pup. A drunken younker is threatening to teach you a lesson unless you stop asking questions about the Vake. You have to show him the error of his ways. Now here, I only have a 48% chance of success, so if I so chose, I could spend a hard-earned lesson to ensure a second chance. And for the sake of this tutorial, I'm going to do that. And, okay, I succeeded my 48% chance to do something. It takes some persuading. You trade blows before he goes down for a final time. He glares at you over a bloody nose and spit lip and begins to talk. He knows two things about the Vake. One, that it finds and eats anyone who boasts about hunting it. Two, it's sort of leathery, but he has heard of someone who knows more. ... Well, what it says is that you succeeded, but you use a hard-earned lesson anyway. Well, hey, hard-earned lessons don't grow on trees, or any of these advantages don't. You have a second chance, but if you succeed in the first time, it's still currency that you will have used. Don't worry, getting these is not that difficult to do, especially for trading between your friends. This hasn't updated yet. I just like to click this to reload, and you'll see that there's only one hard-earned lesson here. So that's pretty much what we have going on here. I don't want to show off too much of the content because I want people to experience for themselves. I am going to click off these that I can't do yet and see what any opportunities that are interesting pop up. This is great. This is a visitor at Halamas. This is a seasonal card that pops in. And yeah, all this stuff, we're not going to have any of this when you first start off the game. But something at your doorstep is too small to be a dead cap, it's too big to be a pistol. It might be a human head in broadcloth wrapping. Who is he? What's going on? You click the button. Oh, great. So, this is a great opportunity to show off what happened. A bundle of oddities is going to be anything from a little bit of a currency or a little bit of an item that you're going to be able to use, or it's going to be uh, a lot of something. It kind of varies between this, but you also see that I've gained a new quality, Nightmares One Wary. Now that is interesting to show. I want to just kind of point out that nightmares are becoming a problem. Some nights you hardly dare sleep. This reaches 5, bad things may happen. Don't let it reach 8. Don't let it reach 8. People gotta, I don't want to spoil anything for anyone, but needless to say, the idea is that menaces are what keep your character, for when you have failures later in the game and something else you have to manage. Something dark, a ball of wax, a whole ball of wax, we open it up, and bam! That was actually a pretty nice one. Lamplighter beeswax. The wax of the lamplighter bee has a distinctive scent. Celery, polleny, zinky. Use this to make candles, perhaps just purify the air in your rooms. Onwards! So, the idea is that that is something... Oh, okay, this is another one. Wow, they're going to really screw me over, but this is actually a great opportunity to get something. So, a street card is selling 4 city rags. They're going cheap, and it may be useful to you. You have this by having none of these. So, okay, I'm going to purchase 4 city rags. Careful, who knows what nightmares they might bring. It'll cost me 10 whispered hints. Say that's a deal. Boom. Oh, dear God. So, as I was mentioning menaces before, well, great, I got some rags, +2. The moment you touch them, you hear voices. The voices continue all the way home, and you don't leave you even in your dreams. Eventually, you ball up the rags and lock them in your wardrobe overnight. That quietens the voices, but the dreams will stay with you a good while. So, yeah, what a deal from the urchins, huh? Our nightmares increase to 4, and they say that if it reaches 5, bad things may happen. If it reaches 8, Ziyal's in trouble. So, that gives you kind of a hint, but what it did allow us to do is gain a new piece of clothing. So this is my dangerous wear. It's my dangerous wear, but I can also equip my watchful wear. So this will give me the bonus to watchful, put my watchful at 7 for different challenges and such. What's really great about the game that they just added, and that's one of the reasons why I want to make this video, because they just added this and it's been a really excellent addition. This is my watchful set. So I'm going to decide that my watchful set will be morning, meaning I'll wear this in the morning, if you will, and that is my watchful set. That increases my best chance to increase my watchful stat increase. But let's just say it's time for hard wearing. We're rough. We're about town. It de-equips all your items, and we'll just equip anything. If it has, as long as it doesn't have a negative stat, might as well equip it at this point. Or like this, pair of boots that don't do anything. And you'll see that, bam, you're able to equip that there. And now this is my hard wearing. This is my dangerous outfit, which gives me the +2 to dangerous. So, okay, so we're going to enter into a story section here. A broken... okay, we have terrible chances of both of these, but none of our stat increases are going to matter. We have a 50-50 chance at taking care of this horse. A man grabs you in the street. The statue is still behind me. With its crown and its sword, the devil said it to me with their hunting horns. It wants my head. He carries a horse's skull spotted with goblets of a horse. Wow, okay. I don't know what the heck they're talking about. Crazy, right? Try to ease its nightmares. Well, if we were a persuasive chap, perhaps you try this. Since we're not, there's a 24% chance of success. Yikes. And there's also shadowy, 51% chance. So we'll try that. Madmen know the choicest truce. Oh, it worked. Oh, it failed, actually. Okay, finally, the first failure. I want to make sure I could show off a failure here. Even though because it was a 50-50 chance, we still got a point for having completed it. And I'll show us a few things. Okay, only trivia and nonsense. He rants and he babbles. He tells you of his life as a student of the Bethany College is interminable detail. But he refuses to remember the only interesting thing about himself, whatever broke his mind. When you press him, he becomes agitated. Springing up, he strikes you with a blow with the horse's skull and flees into the city. Okay, what the hell is any of that? Bethany College? What? Okay, I want to remember this for later. So great little options you got right here is record this in your journal. Most of the time it's going to pop up with the name of the card here. And when you record this entry, it'll be saved for later. So something you can kind of remember. Because we failed the challenge, or maybe if we even settled it, we gained a new quality, Heartless at 1. Well, I never. What? It's none of my affair. So the idea is that not only do you have your different stat qualities here, and not only do you have menaces in terms of things that can make you perhaps lose a good night's sleep, you also have these quirks, if you will, and all this will be listed on your myself page right over here. You will see the fact that our quirks. We are Heartless 1. Alright, so the idea is that these are other sort of things that will open up different story details in the future. So when you make your choice, don't worry, pick the right role-playing option. This is not a game to concern yourself with hurrying. There's no point in hurrying because you only have limited actions if they recharge, but it will show you there's no point in hurrying it. So choose whatever option comes to mind when you're playing. What kind of character do you want to be? Do you want to be tough yet like a detective, exploring but roughing people up for your dangerous stat, but you still have a keen eye? Do you want to be a shadowy, persuasive thief, etc.? All through here, you'll be able to list pretty much anything that's happened. Will tell you, because we decided to go to where we did, we automatically became a tough for our profession, which is pretty much a job. And you'll be able to take care of that. A lot of these things, it seems like so much to introduce. So I'm going to kind of just wrap things up on this side, and then I'll show you what it looks like when you have a whole lot of actions and the difference between things. Okay, we already did this one. So here's the thing. We've already done this challenge. It's one of the urchins, and we know what the story is. So this is one of those times where it's like, alright, click this here for morning, equip our watchful clothes so we have a better chance at it, and we're just going to click go. And hey, I've already read this, blah blah blah, it gave me some hints, fantastic, click onwards. I don't need to read it again, but if I wanted to read it again, I could. Now we've run into opportunity deck. It is gone. So you could use fate, the currency, if you wish to refill it, although I don't believe that is a good use of your time, if you will. It can be at times, though. Sometimes you're really dying for those opportunity cards. But for the most part, we're just going to kind of continue on. And I'm going to show you what it's like when you're out of actions. So Watchmaker's Hill. I don't want to show off. There is stuff along the lines of making your name a contract. Rumors race around the hill. We can visit the marketed of menace eradication, hunt a worryingly large rat. Well, for those choosing the dangerous persuasion, I'll let you do that because I don't want to mess with anything. So we're just gonna hang out and deal with rowdy times in Medusa's head. And let's arm wrestle a Clayman. A Clayman, a much more challenging opponent. Claymen are employed in nearby docks to do the work of any three normal men, but they're not too bright. So low risk chance. Alright, wasn't 100% chance, but I still was able to complete it, and I got myself 3 bottles of Greyfield's Yada Yada wine. It's the mushroom wines. It's wines created out of mushrooms. So that's up to you. Now let's just say, hey, I just want to level up my dangerous, and I just want to keep doing this, and I've just read the text of Witting, which is astounding. You took advantage of the poor fellow. He started before he was ready. You distracted him by singing energetically and then pretending injury, and you kicked him under the table. You were cheered and bought drinks. Claymen are not popular. So I was a cheating bastard. Now, I just want to keep grinding this out because I want to get some wine. So this is one of those opportunities where you just press the try again button. Bam, it pops up. Yeah, cool. Keep leveling up. We gained 1 wine this time. We leveled up our dangerous as well. Okay, this is where I'm just kind of showing, let's just say you are, you have a project you're doing, but you kind of came over to play a little Fall in London while you were waiting on something else to happen in the internet, or just your job. This is a great browser-based game, something like you're waiting for an email to get sent, or you got to file your TPS reports, but the server's slow. whatever I can think of. But sometimes you have time to enjoy yourself and do things, and sometimes you're just kind of looking to get rid of your actions, do a little bit of grinding. So this is what you do: is you just press the button, you click it, you try again, and then oh no, we are out of options here. And as you'll see, our candle, which was once way up here, is now down to a tiny little stub. Ah, stub. What a truly disgusting word when I think about it. Pretty much this is where you say, hey, I'm good. I'm going to go take care of some other stuff. I'm going to go out for time. And I believe the math on it is, let's bring out the calculator app to show you how amazing I'm at math and I need it. If every 10 minutes you get one action, so 10 times 20 is every 200 minutes you will get your candle refilled. So divided by what, 60 for an hour is basically every 3 and 1/3 hours you will get all 20 of your actions back. And that's basically how you take care of business there. The idea is that you have but wait, next up, the timer's clicking down. Boom! The candle lights itself again, and you are ready to go. Now, oh no, I can't do anything. These things aren't moving. Best way to kind of take care of that, just click story, click anywhere. And sometimes the timers can get off by a little bit. And yeah, there you go. Now you see we're back here. But let's just say I don't want to power grind anymore. I want to see, since I'm a little bit more dangerous, let's see if I can do a little bit more towards the ambition. Deep in Bugsby Marshes lives a man, the last man alive to see the vague and talk about it. Alright, let's see what he's got to say. Oh, now we've hit a little barrier here. In order to pay our way to the marshes, we're going to need to get some more Rusty Gold. So now, hey, I got myself a task to do. Which means I can go back to the Medusa's Head to gain this. There's also, since time has passed, opportunity cards have come by. Oh, and this is actually something that when you see this card pop up for your opportunity deck, take advantage of it. Anytime you get a gold covered urchin card, is the developers of the game, they want to find out some stuff. You answer a simple survey about some things, it'll tell you right here. Basically, Failbetter Games is asking you a little bit about yourself. None of these things takes options, but you answer some sort of things and you'll get yourself 6 fate. Fate is the real life currency equivalent in how you take care of actions. But real quick, let's go and get rid of this last action so we can say we are done. Let's earn some Rusty Gold. Let's bounce some more drunks out. Yeah, that'll show them. We've already seen this, so we keep going onwards. Alright, we're out of time. We got nothing else to do. When these times pop up, this is where you go do something else. Now, if you have the money to burn, putting myself back in my hard clothes, if you have money to burn and such, it is when you take time to go over to the Fate page. Pretty much buying Fate is actually quite reasonable when it comes to the currency option. Excuse me. To buy extra content. And for the most part, I've been pretty happy anytime I've ever spent any Fate. I don't think I've seen some of these before. You can use your Fate, let's just say the 6 Fate that I'll get by filling out their questionnaire, you could immediately spend it and restore up to 6 actions. So get your candle back up to 6 out of 20 instantly. I don't recommend doing that unless you got the money and you want to spend it. What I would recommend, that if you are really enjoying this game, becoming an exceptional friend is the way to go. Pretty much it gives you 40 actions, so you get 0 out of 40, and it allows you to have 10 cards in your opportunity deck. So pretty much our problem is that we have no more time and we got no more cards. So let's show you guys what it's like when you're an exceptional friend, because that's right, my free browser-based game I decided to spend a little bit of currency on. Okay, cool. Remembered me, my main character. Anyone who sees it quick enough, you're welcome to. I think I might just put links to all my characters here. And whoa, look at that, 39 out of 40. $7 a month, or the British, does it say it's in a different currency? I don't know. I've already have it, but the point is that it's about $7 a month, and pretty much being an exceptional friend gives you access to this. Not only does it give you access to that, excuse me, it gives you access to the House of Chimes, which is a little extra area that will provide you with lots of cool stuff. Now, I promise to kind of show you guys what it's like for my main character. And here you go. You will see over here, not a lot of this is going to make sense. Why do I have eyeless skulls that I can't discard out of my opportunity deck? What's up with that? Can't discard. Uh-oh. Things like that. What's going on here? What's all this? Who's that? What now? Where am I living? Am I living in some space future home? Holy crap, I only have so many places available. These are actually all the locations unlocked to give you an indication of just how many places, just how many stories. Thousands of stories is absolutely right. I'll go back to my lodgings just to relax. This will show you the fact that I am very persuasive, if that's how I tend to make my first character, if you will. So that's my best bonus in the game to what character I have. My second stat is watchful. That's highest, but all these stats matter. You see the fact that you always kind of find a reason to go down a different rabbit hole. Sometimes you're going to be very intrigued. You're going to be intrigued by, oh, I got to go do this. This looks so cool. Let's do that. Oh, what's going on here? Oh, I got to write letters. I got to communicate with other players. I got to do this. For example, the first thing I'm going to do is attend to Matters, Society, and Scandal. And I'm going to send a calling card to... Oops. Ziyalgamingetc at gmail.com. This right here, adding a contact, like so, is something that everyone is welcome to do. I don't seem to be available here. Ziyalgamington. Oh, well, hopefully that actually went through. We'll have to check that. But the idea is that I just spend one of my actions when it all fills up. Sometimes, because sometimes you don't want it all filled up here, but holy crap, look at all this stuff. What does this mean? What does this mean? My nightmares? Notability? Influence? There's so much to this game, guys. I can't talk about how much I love this, and the reason why I keep going on and on about this is that it's connected to the indie game by Failbetter Games, Sunless Sea, which I'm planning on doing a modded Let's Play for eventually. Give you kind of an indication of what life becomes a little later on when you've got a lot of things going for you. Holy moly, look at all this stuff. This is what I look like in real life for the most part. Corncob pipe. Yeah, it's how I like to rock. Now, you see all these different things. What is this? My second page actually has things on it. Whoa, am I living in the future? What's going on there? How'd that happen? Well, that's all things to find out. What is that now? I even have a ship? I have a spouse? My god, I think I'm doing better in my Fallen London life than in my real life. As wonderfully distressing as that is to say. But it'll show you that these little tabs for switching between your characters. This is my morning. This is my watchful. Biggest increase of watchful, plus 32. Time to go out in the town for the evening. Put on my finest clothes, my dignified clothes, if you will. And then you'll see that my persuasive score goes up to 195. To give an indication, getting to 200 of a skill, or getting a major milestone in the game is getting to 100 in every skill. But you don't have to do it unmodified, meaning that one of the things you can do is that you get yourself to 65 persuasive, and then if you have some of these items that I've purchased from the bazaar, and I've gained a lot of these through quests or just storylets, excuse me, and then you got yourself some actions to do here. Then you'll allow yourself to get your persuasive up, or whatever skill you're kind of looking for. And that's really what it's all about. I will tell you that I'm on a limited budget in terms of how much money I can spend. Wow, look how much money I have left. My echoes. That's Well, that's a bad sign. Anyway, Mark of the Beast. I have to watch on my shelf. But the idea is that I haven't regretted becoming an exceptional friend, and it's one of those things I recommend to people if you're really into story-based games. You get a lot of content. To tell you, like, you get the House of Chimes access, which gives you access to more storylines. And just showing off, I did this month's story, but I do believe that there is... I'm looking forward here. If you'll excuse me one second. I forgot where it's located. It's been a while since I've been here. I know I'm just scrolling through this so fast, like, oh, slow down. I just don't want to show off too much of the content, but I want to show this particular thing. Oh, okay. If you do become an exceptional friend, this is a storylet that doesn't open up unless you are a person of exceptional or a exceptional friend to Failbetter Games and such. $7 a month, you get double the actions. So if it was 3.3, 3 1/3 hours, it becomes 6 2/3. God, math. It becomes nearly 7 hours worth that you can go away from the game, come back, and then you have 40 actions to spend on whatever the heck you like. And you also get these unique storylets that I can tell you for the most part, they always are. These are stories that are being written by them right now, new content. And you are still going to get new content by them that's not through the Exceptional Friends. They've actually been reworking almost everything. This is where I'd go old man style, but if you go back to Watchmaker's Hill, back in my day, we did things a certain way. You notice this Department of Menace Eradication is one of those things that's still around from before, but you'll see the fact that they actually redid the beginning of the game for every single one of the traits, I believe. I'm pretty sure on that. Maybe they don't have one completed yet, but they've really streamlined the process. And I noticed on YouTube there wasn't really anyone mentioning some of the latest updates they've done other than perhaps developers themselves. So I wanted to give this one a little spotlight and show it off. And kind of give you a hint at some of the things that come in the future. My 666. Oh yeah, the items. Yeah, this will give you an indication. This is what happens when you're playing the game for too long and you are clicking back and forth. One of the things that I couldn't really show off before, but I'm going to show off now, is, okay, a shard of glim, jewels of the undersea, whatever that is. Now, this is one of those opportunities that if you are in your you're in your myself tab, anything that's got a green border here, you are able to click on and use to combine, if you will. So we have ourselves a shard of glim. We're going to use that, and you have the option here that if you spend 100, then it'll gain you some map scraps. It's a matter of luck. Maybe you'll get some extra stuff. But if I trade 1,000, and since I got 6,000 of these things, I'm not sure how that happened, I'm going to click that right there. And then boom, the next tier of item in the chain, if you will, is available right there. So not too shabby, if I can say so myself, in terms of how they like to do the items and such. To give any indication, like you'll notice over in the shop, Glim itself, which is right here, sells for a penny. Fantastic. Or the thing I just made them into, which was map scraps, they sell for 10 apiece. So it's an idea is that I gain 105 of them after spending 1,000. So you can basically, you know, make a little profit slash sell them off there. Because see, if I made 105, then yeah, I would have technically made 50 cents profit by combining the two of them by having to spend an action. Not really the biggest deal, and I want to keep those around for other reasons, but it'll give you some more things to do. I'm going to give you a last couple bit of advanced tips before I kind of wrap things up here. You notice on my first character, nightmares became a problem. They were wary. I need to solve that problem, and I got to get rid of this 666 terribleness in terms of my money. So how you get rid of menaces, there's going to be lots of story options for you. And by the way, most of these menaces you're not even going to encounter until you're over level 20 in a certain skill. But we got ourselves superior laudanum. Laudanum? I always say it wrong. Ensures deep sleep but may affect your health. Use it when your nightmares ride too high. Well, hey, let's buy one. Hell, let's buy two. I'm really crazy. Alright, I have some nightmares. I'm actually really good at nightmares for once, but I'm doing this because I want to show it off. So going back to the myself tab, if you ever get your things too high, if you ever get your menaces too high, like let's just say this was reaching 7 or 8, then you want to go over to here and you want to click on, it's always going to be under this big section here, which is I believe curiosity, and you're going to click on it right there. Sure, it's a deep sleep. It's going to be different for you because I am later up in the game and there's actually more consequences as you get further up. But we're a sweet sleep. So bam, I used this. I lost the menace of the nightmares, but it came at the cost of my wounds increasing. And okay, so maybe I've got a bit of a habit. I could quit anytime I want, guys. God. And a quirk of mine, austere, has dropped as well because I'm, drugging myself to sleep every night. Yippee-ki-yay. So I wanted to quick show that off. I showed combining items. I showed it off. Kind of just checking things to myself. Also showing off the value of items. So, like, for example, I was showing off that, showing off, I keep saying that. Some of these items that you keep combining, and eventually they become worth a certain amount. You really want to buy that sweet item from the store? Well, let me show you some items that you get later on are going to be worth quite a bit. These eyeless skulls, for example, which I totally have to hold on to for some reason, they're worth 30 echoes a piece, which to put into perspective, remember when I couldn't buy gloves of my other character? Well, hey, bam, sell one of those, I'm able to get myself in the money. Now granted, these are higher level items, but the idea is that you can spend your money, you can sell off your consumables that perhaps you won't have them when you need them, but you'll be able to make money that way, and you'll need to have your money for different things. A lot of this stuff is just crazy. I don't want to show off too much of it other than to say this. And yeah, like I said, the other tips, I think the last little bit of tips I was going to give is what I said before, is kind of wrap everything up, is if you are interested, make multiple accounts. I like to personally rock things like this. You got your Windows 10 here, and you'll see on my other thing, I'm still trying to upload. Well, it's processing. I'm uploading this. This is the great sort of thing. I'm doing work. Work. Yeah, this is work for me. Planning on my Fallout character on the Fallout planner. But I got this the other window, and hey, I got a couple action points, and you can spend it just all of a sudden just pop up and do this. Or, like I said, you want to be logged in on 2 different accounts at the same time? Well, bully for you. How I usually do that is I kind of just have, bam, like this. Or I just cover them both up, and I go, okay, this character is going to, got to do an opportunity card, click, click, click. Yep, this is one of those send to somebody else ones. Click it, and then I spent my phrase. So sometimes you're not going to be interested in maybe spending time in Fallen London because you got important work to do. You got to look at this perk chart and figure out what the heck you're going to make your Fallout 4 character, which I might have to make a video about to ask you guys what you're interested in. But this is an opportunity to, you can click over there and just kind of take care of things. To make it easy, I use 2 different browsers. That is called laziness, my friends. Like, to give ourselves back to Ziyalgamingetc, etc., we gotta enter in our password like some sort of, automaton. Is this gonna be right? No. I gotta remember what password I just made for it. Is it right? Yeah, that's right. Okay. Hey, and hey, look, in the absence of time, we see that we got ourselves another opportunity card. So let's click it. It's the give a gift one again. Darn it. I don't really have anything to give. I am truly poor. But you'll see the card pops up. 10 minutes have passed. It's time to move on. Maybe sometimes you're going to be so anxious to play this game because you're just really curious what's going to happen in the story next that you are going to just be waiting. You'll be waiting and you'll be like clicking on this clock for the next thing to do, and you're going to be just eager to go. This is the testament to when games are made with story writing and proper story writing and just people who care. These guys really do care about their the world they created. And I will tell you that right now, easier way to show it off is on the other character over on this on Firefox, if you will. Wolfstack Docks is a these are all locations that actually do exist in Sunless Sea, because Fallen London is the port to which you set sail from. So this is actually the place that you have, and if you do sign in and make sure that if you were playing Sunless Sea with it, if you pretty much combine your two accounts together, which is really quite easy to do. You connect Sunless Sea to this account. It'll walk you through the process for the most part. Feel free to leave a comment if you have a question about it. You can give yourself, your captain in Sunless Sea, some further benefits. I am definitely planning on playing some Sunless Sea. At the moment, the big Fallout 4 is looming over all of us RPGers pretty hard, you know. So, but that's one of those things you can do with Sunless Sea. So anyway, this was an overly long tutorial. What can I say? I like to talk about Sunless Sea. I like to talk about what I love, and I love this game. It's made by great people. I supported them. Heck, I even supported the Kickstarter of House of a Thousand Doors, I believe it was called. This is my very first time I've ever actually supported a Kickstarter for a game, just because it was one of the people who worked on Sunless Sea. Somebody who worked at Failbetter Games, and I've got absolute confidence that he's going to bring out an excellent product. So I really dig these guys, and I think you guys should give them a check out. It's the perfect way to kill some time in between doing other tasks. It's just really helpful like that. And there's nothing quite like you wake up in the morning. My routine is go out, get your drink. I'm not a coffee drinker, but you can get your coffee. And if you don't have any place to be immediately, you sit down in front of the computer and you just click out a couple of actions and see where you left yourself off last night. It's a beautiful experience. So anyway, thank you very much for listening to my tutorial for Fallen London. I'm going to give the links to characters in the video description. That by all means, make a character. Send me a calling card. When you do send a calling card, just mention that you're from YouTube. Or just, you mention you're from YouTube in the little space below. Or don't, and make it a mystery to me and make me wonder who the heck you are. That's cool too. You can be, and heck, there's ways you could screw me too if you're interested. You could wrap me up, like I said. If you get one of these cards, you decide, this guy did not explain the game properly. I want to give him a box of live rodents to wound him because he dared not pronounce things right. Like laudanum. Laudanum? You can wrap me up, and it's a lot of fun there. So anyway, thank you all very much for listening. There'll be a lot more content. If you enjoyed this video, please consider leaving a like. That way other people can find it. The last tutorial I saw when I searched for Fallen London on YouTube was, 8 months, or one was a year old, and they were quite dated. So I wanted to make sure a new one came out. Because they've really reworked a lot of content, and these guys are working really hard. Sunless Sea is getting an expansion coming up pretty soon. So anyway, shutting up now. Thank you very much for listening. I hope everyone had a good time watching me in this amazing graphical interface as I'm playing a game. But if you're interested in content for Fallen London as it relates to Sunless Sea, which I will be jumping into eventually, please consider subscribing. I'm also having Divinity Original Sin and Age of Decadence, and Fallout 4 is the big one we're all waiting for. I mean, a lot of us, I think everyone's waiting for that one. So anyway, thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you next time. And have fun in Fallen London, and watch your purse if you're hanging out in the alleyways of Spite. And send me a calling card. Take care, y'all. Cheers.